her research interests are in the field of cardiac imaging and also in magnetic resonance imaging. Are you ready? Okay, shall we start now? Okay, please welcome Dr. Natrumon.
Thank you for your kind introduction and good morning everybody. Okay, today I will present the clinical application of cardiac MRI. Due to some of you are not medical care person, so I will shortly review about cardiac anatomy. Let's start. If you bisect the heart like this plane, you will have the heart muscle we call myocardium, and the heart comprises of 4 cardiac chambers. The upper chambers called atrium, they are right and left atrium, and the lower chamber called ventricle, and they are right and left ventricle. The atrium and ventricle separated by valve. The right-sided cardiac valve called tricuspid valve, and the left-sided cardiac valve called mitral valve. And the oxygen poor blood come to right atrium, right ventricle, and pass to the lung through the blood vessel called pulmonary artery. And the high oxygenated blood come from left atrium, left ventricle, and pump to supply the body through the blood vessel called aorta. And this is coronary CTA, showing coronary artery, which is a vessel that supplies the myocardium. The left-sided system has left main and branching into left anterior descending artery called LAD and left circumflex. And the left-sided system supplies most of left ventricle. The right coronary artery supplies most of right ventricle and inferior wall of the left ventricle. So let's move to the next topic, which is cardiac orientation and standard cardiac view, which is quite different from the other part of body MRI. This is coronal imaging. Is it a pilot study? And this is the heart, this is the lung. The first view we call 3-chamber view. And if you bisect aortic valve and LV apex like this, you will have this view. We call 3-chamber view because in this view you can visualize portion of left atrium, left ventricle, and right ventricle. And this view we will demonstration mitral valve and aortic valve, and also can visualize left ventricular outflow tract clearly by this view. The next view we call short axis view. Using prior derived 3-chamber view to prescribe the next image of short axis view at basal, mid, and apical part of left ventricle. We use this view for quantification of ventricular function. Everything includes volume, mass, ejection fraction, stroke volume, and also use this view for evaluation regional wall motion. You can visualize the left ventricle look like donut like this in short axis view. The next view is 2-chamber view, somebody called vertical long axis view, and use the prior derived mid short axis view and bisect this plane. You will derive this 2-chamber view. This view, you can visualize the left heart structure, left atrium, left ventricle, and mitral valve. The next view called 4-chamber view, or somebody called horizontal long axis view. And this view, you can visualize the relationship of all 4 cardiac chambers on a single image, and can visualize mitral valve and tricuspid valve. This slide summarizes the standard cardiac view that we use. The short axis view at basal, mid and apical part of left ventricle, 3 chamber, 4 chamber and 2 chamber view. With all these standard view, we can visualize all 17 segments of myocardium according to American Heart Association and use this segmentation for further evaluation of coronary artery territories. The 17 segments located at LV apex, which is seen only in long axis view, and the anterior anteroseptal wall of the left ventricle feeding by LAD, and the lateral wall of the left ventricle feeding by circumflex, inferior and inferior wall of the ventricle feeding by RCA, and we will discuss in myocardial viability later. Let's move to pulse sequence for cardiac MRI, which is again quite different from the other part of body MRI. We use black blood technique for evaluation myocardial morphology and anatomy. Also tissue characterization if the patient suspect to have cardiac tumor. The next technique called white blood technique. It will display in cine images, and we use this technique for evaluation cardiac function. The next is myocardial delay enhancement sequence used for evaluation myocardial viability and cardiomyopathy that we will describe later. Let's move to black blood technique. It is double IR fast spin echo. It's called double IR because the magnetization preparation used first non-selective inversion pulse, then second selective re-inversion pulse. So it's double IR. And the non-inverted myocardium has signal intensity. And the inflowing inverted blood goes to the null point, so the blood shows dark or black color, such as this picture. We can apply both T1 and T2 black blood, or even can apply fast suppression for further tissue characterization. The next technique is white blood technique. It is steady state free precession, or SSFP. It is balanced gradient echo pulse sequence, and as you visualize, it is displayed in cine or movie images, and we use for evaluation cardiac function, and the blood pool is white. The SSFP is generic name, and there are different trade names according to the vendor that you use, such as Fiesta in GE, Balance FFE, Philips, and Tufis in Siemens. All the same SSFP sequence. The next sequence that we use frequently for cardiac MRI is myocardial delay enhancement, or somebody called late gadolinium enhancement. We use this sequence after injection of gadolinium to the patient, and the image were obtained after contrast injection about 5 to 10 minutes because the delay enhancement show area of necrosis. So there is quote that white is dead by this sequence, and this graph shows the difference enhancement of normal myocardium and infarcted myocardium. After your injection of contrast medium to the patient, the normal myocardium enhance rapidly and rapidly wash out, and the infarcted myocardium will enhance gradually and persist enhancement after 5 to 10 minutes. So we have to wait about 5 to 10 minutes to image the patient. And this is the example case. The normal myocardium show dark or black color, and the infarct myocardium show white color. It is inversion recovery prepare gradient echo. Again, it is the trade name is different depend on the vendor that you use. The magnetization preparation used non-selective inversion pulse, and the recovery time curve of infarcted myocardium is steeper than normal myocardium. So when normal myocardium goes to the null point, the infarcted myocardium has signal intensity. The next sequence that used frequently in cardiac imaging is cine phase contrast. When you image one time, you will derive these two pictures. It is magnitude image and velocity map image. The magnitude image used for anatomy localization for draw region of interest in post-processing. And this is a magnified view of the vessel area. You will notice that there is a different voxel and different grayscale of the pixel. And the different grayscale encode for specific velocity. So the software can calculate flow by multiplying mean velocity and vessel area, and can calculate pressure gradient across vessel that interest according to modified Bernoulli equation. We used this sequence in clinically for shunt evaluation or valvular heart disease. The low oxygenated blood circulated within venous system and goes to the lung. We call pulmonary circulation or QP. And the high oxygenated blood circulated within arterial system, we call systemic circulation or QS. In normal people, QP should be equal to QS. And we use this principle for quantification of the chance. By applying phase contrast and measurement of flow across the main pulmonary artery, which is corresponding to QP, and phase contrast, measurement of flow across the aorta, and corresponding to QS. Such as this example case, this is the patient with atrial septal defect, or you can visualize that this is a defect of interatrial septum, so the blood can pass to this defect from left atrium to right atrium. There is example of left to right shunt, and this patient will have QP more than QS. The next application for phase contrast is for evaluation of valvular disease, such as this case. This is a normal patient, has 3 leaflets of aortic valve, and the aortic valve can opening widely like this. And this patient who has aortic stenosis, you can visualize that the aortic valve is irregularity and cannot hardly open. And we use phase contrast for grading valvular stenosis, such as this patient. Calculated peak systolic velocity is 4.1 and peak gradient is 67.2. So this patient has severe aortic stenosis because the velocity more than 4 and peak gradient more than 60. The next topic is cardiac MRI indication. Who is the candidate for cardiac MRI? According to the guideline published in Journal American College Cardiology, the appropriate criteria for cardiac CT and MRI, the first indication is for evaluation of myocardial scar and viability using myocardial delay enhancement that I mentioned earlier. Myocardial viability, we use cardiac MRI for clinical judgment for revascularization. In this patient group, we expected that this patient will have coronary stenosis and can separate or divide into 2 phases. The acute phase called stunned myocardium and the chronic phase called hibernating myocardium. The myocardium still viable or alive, but dysfunction. So in this patient group will benefit from revascularization. We use myocardial delay enhancement because the enhancement in this sequence showing white color, so that is what that white is there. If enhancement more than 50% of wall thickness, we call non-viable segment, because if enhanced more than 50%, these patients are likely to recover function after revascularization. So we use 50% as cutoff point. And this is how we evaluation the enhancement compared to the wall thickness, such as this case, the enhancement less than 25% of wall thickness. So this segment still viable or still alive. And this patient show enhancement we call transmural enhancement or enhancement about 100% of wall thickness. So this segment are dead or non-viable. And this example case is ischemic cardiomyopathy, or this patient has myocardial disease caused by coronary stenosis, and we expected that this patient has LAD lesion. How we know that? According to the principle that I described previously, in white blood image, you can visualize that the anterior and anterior septal wall of this patient is less movement than the other segment. We call hypokinesia. And the myocardial delay enhancement of this patient show transmural enhancement. So it is matched with vascular territory, which is LAD. So we expected that this patient should have LAD lesion. And we use the myocardial delay enhancement pattern for differentiate ischemic from non-ischemic cause. The ischemic cause should be enhancement like this, which is enhancement at subendocardium or the inner wall of the left ventricle, or transmural enhancement, which should match with vascular territory. And this patient underwent angiogram, and the angiogram confirmed that this patient has total occlusion at LAD, which is corresponding to our prior diagnosis. The next indication for cardiac MRI is for evaluation myocardial disease, or we call cardiomyopathy, and use MRI for evaluation of specific cardiomyopathies such as amyloidosis, hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, and etc. And also used for evaluation of myocarditis. This example case of 35-year-old female presented with chest pain, positive cardiac enzyme, and she was underwent cardiac cath and showed normal coronary artery. And so she was referred for cardiac MRI. And this is myocardial delay enhancement, short axis 4-chamber and 3-chamber view, show patchy enhancement at subepicardium. So we can give diagnosis that she has myocarditis. The enhancement pattern, again, is different from ischemic cause, right? It is subepicardium, which is the enhanced at the outer wall of the ventricle. And this example case, white blood image 4-chamber view, showing abnormal thickening of the left ventricle, also the right ventricle. And this patient also has bilateral pleural effusion and pericardial effusion. The myocardial delay enhancement of this patient show global and diffuse subendocardial enhancement, which is typical for cardiac amyloidosis, which is the specific type of resistive cardiomyopathy. The disease caused by infiltration of amyloid protein and cause of loss compliance and impaired cardiac function. The myocardial delay enhancement pattern is like this, which is global and diffuse subendocardial enhancement, which is not matched with coronary artery territories. The next indication for cardiac MRI is for evaluation of complex congenital heart disease, such as this patient. This is the right ventricle, and the aorta arises from the right ventricle, which is abnormal, right? The normal population, the aorta should be arise from left ventricle, and this patient, the aorta arise from right ventricle. So this is the example case of TGA, or transposition of great artery, and we can depict clearly by MRI. The next indication is for evaluation of cardiac mass. This patient show abnormal mass within left atrium and quite highly mobile. And we use black blood image for further tissue characterization. And the black blood T2 weighted image of this patient show high signal intensity of this mass because this tumor has gelatinous component, and the myocardial delay enhancement show enhancement of this mass. We use myocardial delay enhancement for differentiated tumor from thrombus because the tumor will enhance and the thrombus or blood clot will not enhance after injection of contrast medium. So this patient is left atrial myxoma, which is the most common benign cardiac tumor. The next indication is for evaluation pericardial conditions. We can use cardiac MRI for diagnosis various disease of pericardium, such as this case. This patient has large amount of pericardial effusion surrounding the heart, and this patient has constrictive pericarditis, which is the progressive pericardial fibrosis and calcification. You can notice that this is focal thickening of pericardium and cause pressure effect to the right ventricle, and the ventricular function was abnormal. So we can diagnose that this patient has constrictive pericarditis. The next indication for cardiac MRI is for evaluation great vessel disease. This patient, we don't give contrast medium to the patient because she has low GFR, so it is contraindication for giving the gadolinium to the patient. And this is a white blood image. Candy cane view. This is the thoracic aorta, and you can visualize that this is focal stenosis at the descending thoracic aorta distal to subclavian artery. So this patient was diagnosed as coarctation of aorta, which is congenital heart disease. And we can give diagnosis that associate with this coarctation of aorta, which is bicuspid aortic valve. Normal people will have 3 leaflet aortic valve, right? And this patient has only 2 leaflet of aortic valve, and the opening look like fish mouth, so we call fish mouth deformity. And we can give diagnosis of this patient in the same time. The next example case was referred for cardiac MRI for grading severity of aortic regurgitation. At the scan, we noticed that this patient has a flap and aneurysmal dilatation of aorta. And this is the patient with type A aortic dissection, which is a tear of tunica intima, which is the inner layer of aorta. And the blood can pass to this tear into tunica media. And this patient involved ascending thoracic aorta, which is Stanford A. It is emergency condition. So this patient underwent emergency surgery. Because this patient, if left untreated, this patient will be died for aortic rupture. And you can notice that this patient has aortic regurgitation. Also, I will wrap up my talk shortly because it's nearly lunchtime. I know that you may hungry. So, at present, cardiac MRI is probably the best technique for studying myocardial disease. It can differentiate ischemic cause from non-ischemic cardiomyopathy by enhancement pattern. And it is also gold standard for evaluation cardiac function, volume, and mass, not echocardiogram. And it is served as one-stop service for the patient because it can evaluation both cardiac anatomy and function at the same time. And has different technique from the other part of body MRI, include black blood, white blood, and myocardial delay enhancement technique that I showed you previously. And if you need more information, you can find out with this reference that I used for my talk today.
Any question for Ajahn Harimun? No. If there is, you can ask her in between the lunchtime. Thank you very much for the nice and interesting video presentation.